Oh, no, no, no. Fuck you. Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I'm finally getting around to cutting open the old oil filters that I have accumulated. The reason I want to do this is to know how they are constructed. Oil filters, they cost different amounts of money, okay? Some advertise to be the best. Some advertise to be the worst. Well, they all advertise to be the best, but some advertise to be better than others. And I've noticed that for some oil filters, I wanted to have an oil change faster than for other oil filters. So I've gotten rid of the duplicate oil filters that I have. I've got a K&N filter with 3,947 miles on it. I've got a Baldwin B34 filter with 4,760 miles on it. I've got a Purolator Boss oil filter with 5,467 miles on it. This one I kind of really liked, but it's a little expensive. And I've got a Mopar M090 oil filter with 5,103 miles on it. Okay? And the idea is to cut these open and see if there was a reason why I liked or didn't like these filters, or to see if it was just placebo or something. Okay? Additionally, I've got a little notebook here with all of the oil filter names on there. For now, I'll just be counting the pleats, and I will be judging the construction. So I guess pleats, I will assign a number for how many pleats there are. So if there's, like, let's say 32 pleats on the material, I will put 32. And construction, well, I will rate the overall construction of the filter. So if there are cardboard elements, if it's glued together, if the pleats are uneven, stuff like that. And I will assign a value between 0 and 5. And I've left some blank spaces in case I end up figuring out what else I can judge, such as how much or the length of the fabric and so on. But I've never cut open oil filters before, so I don't know what to expect. So for now, this is all I got. I've also got a dremel with a grinder, and whenever I grind, I love to use safety glasses. I'll put those on right now, and let's just get to it then. So first, I will place the K&N oil filter here. So you'll notice that I have the K&N filter out right now. I like that it has this nut over here that you can grab onto with a wrench. It's really easy to take off. You'll notice that it's messed up. This is because I attempted to open it with gardening shears. I don't have aviation snips. And I realized I'm not going to really do a good job unless I actually grind this off. So, yes, there's going to be metal particulate inside, but I'm not looking at the condition of the oil because these have been sitting on the shelf for some time, so I expect the oil to be all sludgy and gross anyway. I just want to see how they're constructed. So I apologize for this mess with this filter, but inside it should be relatively untouched, apart from the metal shavings that I might get on this from grinding it open. So let's get to work. That bit of cutting took me a long time. I apologize for that. That's because I just feel a little bit shy at first about cutting things. Okay, so you'll notice the wall on this container is actually pretty thick. This is all like solid metal, kind of. Put that there. We have a rubber seal. I believe this would be the, what do you call it? Flow backflow seal? I gotta educate myself later. And here's the actual oil filter. Looks decent. Okay. And this is I'm guessing a leaf spring. Oh, drain back valve or whatever, that's what that's called. So that's a leaf spring right there. Let's see. You will notice that the pleats are held together. They're really wrapped around, they're held together with a metal piece. That's good, that's solid. What I don't quite like is that these pleats appear to be uneven. I don't know if you guys can see that, but see how wide this side is? And how they kind of narrow down. So I assume like more oil would flow in from this side than that side, and then maybe I'm just being picky, but oh, these pleats are cardboard. Oh, cardboard, huh? Okay, well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 53 pleats. I feel 53 pleats. Where's my notepad looking thing? I'm going to write down that there's 53 pleats. But you will notice these pleats are just cardboard, just paper. No fabric. Just wow. You know, the reason I got this filter once was because I went to AutoZone, and I said, "Yo, what's the best filter you guys have?" And they say K&N. You know, long story short, I don't really go to AutoZone for much anymore these days, but you know, for something that is, I would assume, a good filter, it's not that impressive. I mean, it's got a lot of this shell is very thick. That's good. For convenience, it's got that nut, which is very good. It's got a leaf spring, it's got that drain bag valve and whatever the fuck, but I am not happy about this cardboard. I mean, maybe that's just how they're made, but I always imagined that oil filters have a fabric kind of type of thing going on. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to open up the other ones to see, but I would never buy a K&N filter. Because everybody complains about Fram filters because these aren't made of metal, but they're made of cardboard. But the frickin' pleats are cardboard. I mean, maybe cardboard works very well, I don't know, but I'm not too crazy about that. Nice metal core, though. Moving on. The Baldwin B34. Big red boy right here. Whoop, with a bunch of oil still inside. Put that there. The Baldwin B34. I got this off of Amazon for like $8, and I was satisfied with it. I was. Not gonna lie. Big old red filter. So, let me wipe my hands on something here, and let's get to work. Alright, As I was cutting this, I could kind of feel that it was under some sort of tension. I guess that's a good thing, I don't know. Once again, pretty nice thick base, like the, well, pretty nice thick shell, I would say, like the K&N Filter. This one was more of a pain in the ass to cut open because of the mess that came out of this thing. Jeez. Same, I would guess this is a drain back valve. Good. It's got a spring in here. That's very neat, I like that. Also has got a thick shell, but it doesn't have that nice little nut that the K&N Filter had. These pleats are all fucked up a little bit. And they're not evenly spaced either. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. And a little bit of a weird pattern here. They're unevenly spaced. This is also made from cardboard, it would appear. Maybe this is a fabric and maybe it just looks like cardboard and rips apart like cardboard because it's old and used. Maybe this is just me, I don't know. So I don't know, you guys judge. To me, I'm under the impression that this is all cardboard. Straight up cardboard. Oh shit, I should have counted the pleats, huh? That's okay, I'll be able to count. Oh, but you'll also notice that they don't have, that they do not have a metal thing. They're glued together here. I like the metal, I mean the metal blocks the pleats. The glue can come undone though. Yeah, see, the glue is coming undone with a little bit of pressure. So this means, yeah, I would say this is constructed worse than the K&N Filter. Let's see if I can still count how many pleats this thing had before I started ripping them apart, okay? Let's start with the ripped ones. So that's going to be one. Looks like there was two. Yes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 45. I admit, I cannot get an accurate count of the pleats because I just started ripping them, but I counted 45, I think? I think it was 45. I forgot how many I counted already, but I know it's less than the K&N Filter. I know this was constructed worse, actually, than the K&N Filter. So me liking this filter better than the K&N Filter was pretty placebo, I think. So let me wipe the oil. Toss this. Oh, I was actually shocked. 2 filters left to go. The Purolator Boss filter. I actually really liked this filter. I've got 5,464 miles on this. And they advertised this thing with the metal core, with shiny white fabric, and all that good stuff. So let's open it up and see how truthful or how deceitful they were, huh? You know, with the Baldwin filter, that was funny as hell because I thought Baldwin was one of the best stuff and that they made stuff for trucks. But maybe it's that specific model of filter, I don't know. I was kind of disappointed with the Baldwin. Whatever, let's get to work. Spent my dremel bit over here. It appears that the Purolator Boss, yeah, it's smoking and stuff, but wow, this part's really heavy. I think it's better than those two. I can't I can't describe how heavy something is on camera, but this is solid. We've got, I'm guessing, the drain bag valve or whatever the hell this is called. Good that this has one. Pull this out. Leaf spring again, instead of a regular spring. Very thick shell. Now, get a look at this. What is, okay, so this is the K&N one, right? This is the Baldwin one. And this is the Purolator Boss one. What is this? You've got metal over here, so it's not going to separate like the glue one. And look at how even all these pleats are. Well, it's just a little bit wider here, but they're very uniform for the most part. Very uniform, except for here. There's a bit of a gap here. That's precision stuff. Alright, before I start ripping at the pleats, I'm going to count them this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I count 61 pleats. Let me write that down before I forget. Oh, let's rip the pleats open. If this rips open, oh no, these are not cardboard. These don't rip apart like the K&N and the Purolator Boss. Purolator Boss and K&N, when I did this, they ripped apart really easy. This, nothing. Okay, watch. This is the Purolator one, right? Let's get the K&N one. You hear that? I can split them open and then just pick one out and rip it. So that's K&N. Alright, this is Baldwin. That's Baldwin, right? And this is Purolator Boss right here. I can't. I just cannot. Holy fucking. Okay, the inside is a metal core. Very good. I'm trying so hard to just rip one of these pleats out, but I can't. I can't do it. It's unfreaking breakable. Oh, I hope it's gonna show well on camera, cause and these fabrics, they're just so absorbent too. I guess this is fabric instead of cardboard. That's the way I'm feeling this right now. Gee, I don't know what to say. I am very impressed. I am very impressed. Let's put that away. Mopar filter with 5,103 miles on it. It looks pig filthy because I took it through some mud. The car, that is, and I got mud all over the underside, so, you know, it's not just cruddy or anything, it's just that I got a lot of mud on it. So bear that in mind. Mopar M090. Last but not least, turn right up. This one was actually kind of stubborn to cut open. Very good, very solid base as well. That's pretty good. Another varying back bang of sorts as well. Good to see one of those. Oh, buddy. Another leaf spring. A pretty thick wall for this container as well, but not crazy thick. It's a little bit on the flimsy side. Okay, and I guess that's why it was a bitch to cut open, because I hit this part. The pleats, I can tell they're kind of glued in here, and the pleats are evenly spaced. The pleats are very evenly spaced, except for some reason they're like crushed. They're very. Oh, okay. I see what went on here. I'm guessing they put these on, like, mass-produced them with machines or whatever, and I guess this metal plate missed the mark. See, because you can tell there's a gap. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but there's like a gap here, and then over here the material comes over like this metal base plate. Does that make sense? I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but the material comes over. So it's as if the pleats are perfect, but they're so messed up over here is because they were made in such an ugly way. I mean, they're glued on the bottom. Huh. Yeah, and these pleats come apart very easily. Oh, I gotta count them first though. Alright, so let's start at the one that looks like a vagina. That's 1, 2. I count 50 pleats. 50 pleats. These pleats come apart very, very easily. Look at that. Look at that. Just like that. These pleats came apart. Yeah, there's like a glue or whatever here to hold them to the base of the damn thing. And I would suppose this is cardboard as well. And since I didn't see a metal thing, I would guess they are glued together as well. I'm actually disappointed with this filter. I thought it would be much better than this. Look at that, I can strip the pleats. Strip the material off just by pulling it. Crazy. But is this... So I think the worst filter I have so far is the Baldwin. How do I rate this in comparison to the Baldwin? Do the pleats just rip apart? Aw, fuck. So I guess you could say the Baldwin is better than the Mopar, considering that I have covered it in oil now while trying to pull the pleats apart. Shit. Good thing we have eye protection. Yeah, the Mopar rate's worse than the Baldwin. For construction purposes. Alright, let me get this cleaned up and let's go to our notebook here and see what the results are. Okay, so I've got my little scoreboard here with the pleats and the construction. I couldn't find any other criteria to grade these filters on. because I guess I just didn't take scissors and cut open the pleats and measure the amount of fabric or whatever. But basically, by how cheap they felt and how well constructed they were, I came up with a point system for the construction part. And the pleats, I just counted the pleats. I would say the more pleats, the better, because if you have no pleats, well, what the fuck? And if you have 50 pleats, I don't know. So let's tally up the scores here. So for the total score, I get K&N with a total of 55, Baldwin with a total of 46, Purolator Boss with a total of 65, and Mopar with a total of 50. Okay. The higher the score is, the better the filter is, in my opinion. So let me just rank these for you real quick. And this is what I came back with. Baldwin is the worst. Mopar is better than Baldwin, but worse than K&N, which is worse than the Purolator Boss filter. Purolator Boss filter was by far the best filter. If you guys were looking at K&N filters or Purolator Boss filters, like which one should you buy, I hope this gives you a helpful insight, I guess. If you guys were looking at Mopar filters and were thinking Mopar was the best, or if you're looking at Baldwin and thinking Baldwin is the best, think again. Now, granted, the Baldwin was, I think, $8, but I could only get that at Amazon, which also had like $8 shipping or something. So this is a $16 filter, and it was the worst. Mopar, I believe, I think it's like $6 or $7. Not too bad. But the K&N and Purolator Boss, they're like $12 or $14. So you get what you pay for, okay? Not that bad. So the whole purpose of this experiment was to see what was placebo and what was not. Now, the Purolator Boss gave me the most miles. Very good. The K&N filter gave me the least miles. But to the K&N filter's credit, it was the first oil filter I put in when I took ownership of the car. So I don't know if the previous owner had been using conventional oil, what oil he was even using, what filter he was even using, how frequently he changes oil. So perhaps I felt the need to change this filter earlier because I, had dirtier oil or something from the previous owner still. So the Mopar filter and the Purolator Boss filter, that's what I felt comfortable using, I guess. So that's why I used the Mopar filter. Is cheaper. I still get 5,000 miles out of it. And the Baldwin filter, I almost got 5,000 miles out of it, but I didn't. So don't get me wrong, even though the Mopar filter does worse than the Purolator Boss filter, I still am able to get about 5,000 miles out of it, okay? So if you're driving 3,000, 4,000 miles in between oil changes, go ahead and use a Mopar filter. Don't spend the money on the Purolator Boss filter, because this thing is built so well that, you wouldn't be using it to its fullest potential. Does that make sense? Alright, so I'm sorry, but Baldwin, made in the USA, not a great filter, okay? Mopar and K&N, I'd say between 3,000 to 5,000 miles. They're pretty damn good. And Purolator Boss, I would say that filter is game for like cars that do like 15,000 miles or something. I'm very impressed with the Purolator Boss's construction. Very impressed. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that you found this video enjoyable. It's a little bit unusual for my channel, but I was genuinely curious. And now I'm going to clean up. So, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks again. Oh, and what I would also like to add is that what I saw with the K&N filter actually really scares me. These are cardboard, okay, and look at how well the Purolator is constructed in regards to the K&N that ripped apart so easy. K&N Filter is one of the top shelf filters. So if you're using a car that gets like 15,000 mile oil change intervals, servicing, whatever you want to call it, don't do that. It's scary. How can they sell this garbage as something that's top shelf? I don't understand. Yeah, these Baldwin, I don't know how to feel about that. K&N and Mopar, good for those 3 to 5K service intervals, I guess, but the K&N is better than the Mopar. Because as I told you guys, the construction of this was very kind of piss poor, but the materials used in the K&N suck. So actually, for the 3 to 5K service intervals, use the Mopar. Excuse me, the K&N. Unless you're going cheap, then use the Mopar. And for real good long mile results, use the Purolator Boss. Thank you.